Arvind Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Well, it's an important day of trade as it is the monthly F&O expiry for the Nifty contracts, and so far we've seen the Nifty is up only 100 points in this series. It is also the end of the January to March quarter and also the last trading session for fiscal year 2024. Remember, for the quarter, the Nifty is up just about 1.8%, having given up substantial gains from its peak of 22,526. But for the fiscal year 2024, it's not been too bad. The Nifty has delivered returns of 27.4%. The question is, where is the market headed? Where is the Nifty headed in the new series, in the new quarter and the new financial year? And in this show, you will get to find all the answers to all of these and many more questions. Very warm good morning to all our viewers and good morning to you, Shail. Good morning, Shail. Can you hear me? All right. We'll try and fix some of the technical glitches right there. But in the same show, we are now welcoming our guest on the show. Mr. Avinash Gorakhshakar now joins in. He's the head of research from Profit Mart Securities. Warm welcome to you, Avinash, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Well, it is the last day of the fiscal year 2024. Give us a sense of how has this fiscal year really panned out for you as an investor? What are the key learnings that you've taken and how do you see the markets going forward from here? Avinash?
Yeah, good morning, Sakshi. My sense is markets are going to be in a volatile territory, as the election schedule has now been finalized. I think clearly, broader market, one good part is that small cap and mid caps have seen some sort of stability in the market. I think the kind of sell-off we saw in the previous 2 to 3 weeks has now corrected. And I think the focus again will come on some good quality large caps as well as some good quality mid caps. I think investors who want to take a slightly more risky contra call can definitely think of buying ahead of the election, because once the election results are out, my sense is the markets could rally quite significantly, as the markets would then expect a very strong budget from the new government. Some indications of the economic policies also could be rolled out immediately as the Prime Minister gets sworn in. And most importantly, in the month of June, after the final election results are going to be announced, there is a very strong possibility that the US Fed could also announce the first rate cut, and I think that could be a clear indication for RBI also. So I think the rate cut decision is more important, and I think the markets are definitely going to discount this quite positively. So I think till that time, the markets would remain volatile, although I believe that 21,500 to 22,000 could be a strong support level. I don't think we could be seeing levels below 21,400 or 21,500. But I think clearly stock specific activity would gather momentum as we would now be entering into the result season. March is almost over, and I think from the second week of April, you could see full year numbers coming out, management commentaries being spoken out. So I think again it could be a stock specific market, but again, yes, I think the broader sentiment would be driven by the election kind of run up, which is now going to gather momentum very soon.
Right. Avinash, would you care to share with us some of the stocks that you are betting big for the new fiscal year?
Yeah, I think two stocks which we like is one is from the large cap space, that is ICICI Bank. We believe that at the current value of around 1,080, 85, I think it provides a good entry point, because we believe that once the interest cut rate cycle happens, it will definitely benefit the banks, and ICICI Bank is one of the premier positioned private sector banks. Not only is the core business doing pretty well, even the other subsidiaries, especially the insurance, the asset management company, all of these companies are doing pretty solidly. And I'm expecting that FY25 also we could see possibly a strong growth in deposits, a growth in disbursals, and most importantly, insurance companies also after a very long period post COVID are now doing well. So I think all said and done, we are looking at a fair value of around 1250 to 1300 over the next say 12 to 15 months. The stock has been consolidating for a long time. I think at around the current levels, one can definitely think of buying even the stock as of now. It's a safe investment, plus the risk reward looks pretty attractive. The second stock, Sakshi, is a B2C company, which is Imagica Entertainment Limited. Now, this is a company which is having, an amusement park in Khopoli and caters to the catchment areas of Bombay and Pune. In fact, after the closure of ESL World, this has become one of the hot spots for normal weekends, when youngsters go out and enjoy themselves for water sports. This company is now taken over by the Malpani Group, who's supposed to be a very cash-rich group. They actually acquired the entire stake of the earlier promoter because the company had certain cash flow problems. So that has now ended. In fact, the company's balance sheet has become extremely strong. There's virtually no debt on the books, and the company has also recently announced a major restructuring program. In fact, four parks which were owned by the promoters in their personal capacity are now getting transferred to the listed entity Imagica World. And I think this is going to, result in a significant increase in both the top line and profitability. On a very conservative estimate, numbers could be around 400 crores plus on the revenue, EBITDA of around 175 odd crores. And obviously, since the company has a tax shield for the next 3 to 4 years, we believe the profit before tax and profit after tax could be similar. So I think earnings growth is going to gather strong momentum over the next 12 to 15 months. And most importantly, they have been talking to governments in Goa, Uttarakhand, as well as, the Indore park is also going to come in Imagica. So I believe, at these valuations, the stock looks attractive. I think considering the fact that it's a monopolized kind of player in the Maharashtra, in the Western India region, and this business is growing by leaps and bounds. So I think, in terms of realizations, in terms of cash flows, in terms of profitability, in terms of operating leverage, there's yet a lot of steam left in the stock. I would believe that in the next 6 to 12 months, we could see levels of at least 130 to 135. So, this could be a good B2C opportunity for people who can hold on for the next 12 to 15 months.
Okay, ICICI Bank and Imagica World Entertainment, two stock ideas from Avinash, where you can consistently see, strong gains going forward from here. Let me ask you on a few more stocks that are in news, Avinash, and the one that I want to discuss with you first is Reliance Industries. Of course, we did see a 4% surge yesterday. It did maximum of the heavy lifting for the markets and pulled the markets into the green too. And this was after the Goldman Sachs extremely positive and, outlook on Reliance Industries and a bullish report with the targets of 50% upside looking at Reliance Industries. Now there is a news flow that it's tied up with Adani Power to enter into a 20-year PPA for the with Adani arm for a 500 megawatt captive power. How do you really look at Reliance Industries amid all of this news flow now?
I think Reliance has got several triggers for growth. I think this news about tie-up with Adani Power is definitely encouraging. But I think what the market is looking forward is that over the next, say, 12 to 15 months, we could see some value unlocking, from the retail, the telecom, or maybe even the Geo arm. The Geo arm has already been listed separately, but I think, within the financial services vertical, probably FY26 would be a year where Geo could significantly, makes a large amount of revenue and profitability. Currently, I think most of the treasury income is earned by the company, so earnings don't matter here. But I think the amount of the capital which has been put by Geo, specifically looking at the size of its balance sheet of almost 1,30,000 crores, clearly gives an idea that Reliance wants to get into all sorts of finance, services, and obviously will disrupt the existing, market. So one thing is very clear that this is going to be a very big opportunity. The second important value unlocking obviously will be the retail and the telecom arms, where the management has made it clear that over the next, say, 12 to 18 months, some value unlocking initiatives would be taken out. The oil and gas business has also been quite stable. So I think, considering the earnings growth which we are looking at, should be at least 15 to 16% for the next at least 12 to 18 months, and that gives a lot of comfort. I would be also be very comfortable in saying that we could see levels of 31, 3200 probably in the next 12 to 18 months. This is a safe stock, and in this market, I would believe, it's got several levers of growth. So I think one can continue to hold maybe around 2800, 2750. If it does come down to these levels, it could be a good accumulation, opportunity to accumulate, considering the fact that, markets have run up, and this stock has actually consistently shown a good rise. So I think we need to be in such growth stocks if we need to build a strong portfolio.
Okay, there are several stocks in the stocks to watch list that need attention. I'll pick out one or two to discuss with you. Biocon has become the first generics company to get a diabetes drug approval in the UK. How big a trigger could that be for Biocon? It started to move just about a week, 10 days ago. Of course, Pharma is one story that several of the analysts are now looking at positively as well. What would your sense be on the entire Pharma pack as well as on Biocon?
Yeah, I think as far as Biocon is concerned, it is one of those pharma stocks, Sakshi, which has underperformed quite significantly if you look at the other pharma companies. And I think one reason was that their insulin business underperformed. But I think clearly, recently they sold their biologics business, for a reasonably good consideration to Eris Life Science. Now, this news about, this diabetic drug is definitely a positive, but the near-term trigger would obviously be how this actually impacts the earnings over the next, say, 3 to 4 quarters. They have a positive in the form of their control Syngene, which is India's largest contract research, company. So that adds a little bit of stability. But I think the markets are looking at improvement in the core earning numbers. At the current level, I don't think there's any major downside left. But on the upside, I think we'll have to wait for maybe a couple of quarters. So I think my sense is it's a hold from my perspective. Any fresh, kind of entry point could be dependent on how they perform over the next, say, 12 months in terms of their biologic, in terms of their, insulin and basically their regulated business, which is actually underperformed for a long time. So I would say that it's a hold. Other pharma companies where we are more positive are, larger US related players like Sun Pharma, typically a Torrent Pharma, or even a Glenmark, which has shown significant kind of tailwinds now since the US market has stabilized. There are very few instances of US FDA putting some restrictions and some sort of obstructions in the business environment. Another company which is looking interesting is Wockhardt. They recently did a QIP. I think things seem to be turning around there after a very long period of time. So I think Wockhardt has actually moved up significantly, but I would say that from a 12 to 18 month horizon, Wockhardt also looks pretty attractive even at the current levels, because we believe that the new drugs which the company has launched would obviously take some time to settle down and generate revenue. But over the next, say, 12 to 18 months, if hopefully things settle down, then Wockhardt at these levels also looks pretty attractive.
Okay, Wockhardt also looks attractive from the pharma pack. The other stock that I was watching out in the stocks to watch list is Scient. Now, this company has said that it's signed an agreement with German original equipment manufacturer Deutsche Aircraft for designing the rear fuselage section of the D328 eco aircraft. How big an opportunity could that be for Scient?
No, I think Scient has got a strong expertise in the aerospace and the railway segment, Sakshi. And I think, obviously they have got this order because they enjoy the expertise in this segment. So I think definitely we don't know what is the order size, but I think clearly, if this order size is significant and it gets a significant amount of repeat business here, then I think at least over the next, say, 1 to 2 years, one could expect a decent traction on this kind of the business. So I think, even at the current odd level, somebody is looking at a reasonable risk reward. This is one of those companies which has always delivered on earnings and has never seen any major volatility in their revenue or their profit kind of contribution. So I would say that it's a hold. But yes, I think a better price would be to enter at lower levels. The stock is not very cheap, but yes, at the same time, growth prospects look quite good.
Okay, so growth prospects look definitely good, but the price points need to be looked at, and of course the kind of order size that it will be, of course those details are still awaited. Apart from this, Avinash, of course today is also another important day. We've been talking about the last day of this fiscal year, last day of the quarter, and of course the monthly expiry as well. But T+0 settlement really kicks off in the beta phase in trade today, with 25 stocks going to be looking at same day settlement of trade. And a whole host of stocks have been in this list, including Bajaj Auto, Vedanta, several of the stocks over there. There's a whole list that, of course, all of these will come up on your screens. Ambuja Cements, Ashok Leyland, Bank of Baroda, BPCL. How would you really look at this from the retail investor's perspective? What does it really mean for the larger audience?
No, I think the main objective of T+0 settlement is to ensure that money of the investors gets paid immediately. So I think probably investors would get paid for the delivery of their shares much more instantly and efficiently. And I think the regulator has now started with a sample size of 25 companies. Once this is successful, it could get extended to the broader market, especially the larger caps as well as the smaller category of companies also. And it's a very positive development in the longer term interest of the investors. I think clearly the regulator wants that there are no delays in terms of payouts. And obviously, once this system becomes more synchronized and more efficient, then I think we could see this extended to the entire broader market also. So it's a good sign. It's basically to help that the payouts are done on time and in a much efficient manner. So net, it's a good positive for the investor over the longer term, because liquidity, with the investor gets more bolstered.
Okay. So that's as far as the T+0 settlement is concerned. Time to take a very quick break on the show. Avinash will be with us, and also joining us on the other side of the break will be Rajesh Palvia to give us the technical views as well. We'll be back very, very shortly. Be with us. It's the last day of the fiscal year. You don't want to miss all the action.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Market Today. You have the pre-opening rates in front of us, just as what the GIFT Nifty had decided. This is a 17-point downtick on the Nifty so far. 22,100 is where the opening quotes for what is the last trading day of financial year 23-24 is upon us. We are looking at Reliance to see us through this expiry day. Remember, Nifty also expires today and the F&O segment. Let's look at what Reliance is doing. Well, that's rather surprising. We'll avoid this price because this is certainly to settle upwards. Let's look at HDFC Bank for the moment. It's about 40 rupees lower at 1401. This again will improve for the better. Let's look at Infosys. This was down dramatically yesterday. It's trying to open 12 rupees higher at 1495. Let's get back to Reliance. Now it's flattened out completely, 2985. That's had a good impact on the Nifty. Remember, Reliance for now has taken over the mantle from HDFC Bank to pull Nifty higher. Yesterday's 4% rally on Reliance was one of the most interesting things seen in a very long while in the month of March, and that is now helping the Nifty higher. 22,150 for you, ladies and gentlemen, 29 points higher. We'll take a very quick detour into the F&O space and then wait for Mr. Rajesh Palvia to join us. F&O at the moment, apart from index heavyweights, is showing a strong traction on IDFC First Bank. The price that you see, 85.5, is up 10%. Now this will improve Let's see. BHEL, remember, this was a stock that we checked yesterday. The large parts of the PSU segment, which are high beta, low ticket, are moving dramatically, 1.5% higher, 246.80. Hero Motors, 2% higher, 46.80. Just now, Biocon was discussed between Avinash, 261.90, 2% higher. Amongst the most active counters, there is nothing much to talk about except possibly for Adani Ports, 0.5% lower, 13.16. A quick detour to NSE 500. You have amongst the top gainers Sanofi. This is the second day of a very good move, almost 5% higher, 83.44. You have Sova Developers, 4% higher, 14.89. The Nifty rock solid, 50 points higher on 22,173. Let's see whether Rajesh Palvia has come in or not. He hasn't as yet. Avinash, a very warm good morning to you. I'd just like to get hold of Shri Ram Pistons. Remember on 14th of March, Avinash Gorakshakar was with us and he had mentioned the stock at about 1470 levels. Shri Ram Pistons will come in front of you now at 1959. Avinash, good morning once again. A fabulous call. What now on Shri Ram Pistons at these levels? Apparently one of their new units is coming up operationally today. Avinash, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please.
Yeah, we were talking about Shri Ram Pistons. You were here on 14th March. You had suggested the counter at about 1450. It's 1950 now. What ahead?
I think, Shail, I would say that even at these levels, Shri Ram Piston is a great opportunity for somebody looking at the next 12 to 18 months. I think, value is something which is not yet fully discovered for Shri Ram Pistons. People were a little apprehensive about this company, considering the growth in the electric vehicle business. But I think as far as the IC engines are concerned, they made a very strong kind of positioning in the commercial vehicles, in the passenger cars, and the tractor segment. And I think these are growing segments within the economy. I personally believe that both the ICE and the electric vehicles will coexist together. So I think, from a medium term perspective, we still believe that 2400 looks very much possible. The markets have already taken hint of the fact that recently they started a new facility, and I think some new products have also been launched by the company. So I think you could see very strong numbers for the March quarter also, and hopefully if the management commentary is positive, we could see stronger growth commentary coming in from the management for FY25. Then I think the stock has got further legs for re-rating. So I think 2300 is our first fair value target, which I think we continue to maintain. And I think even at the current levels or maybe slightly on the dip, because today is monthly expiry, if you do get this stock at a slightly lower level around 1900 or 1800 or 1850 odd levels, I think it's worth adding to your portfolio, because definitely outperformance will continue over the next 12 to 15 months. Yeah.
Okay. Avinash, let's get into April. March has been extremely volatile, and we've seen the Nifty add about 150 points, the Bank Nifty 666. It's the IT sector which is in terrible pain. Infosys down about 14% in the month of March, as also TCS, which has slipped about 7-8%. Your view on the IT sector and any stock that you look at this level, which might over the next 1 year give a strong return?
I think, Shail, the IT sector looks quite promising, although the fact remains that maybe for the next 1 or 2 quarters, growth could be, hampered. But I think valuations have come down to a pretty attractive level. And within this space, there is a company from the Tata Group which got listed recently. And I think the company's name is Tata Technologies. I think this is one company, Shail, where, they have a very strong positioning in the CAD/CAM designing sector. They've got a very good marquee list of customers. So I think Tata Technologies is something which at around 1000 odd rupees looks pretty attractive. Somebody who wants to take a call for the next 12 to 15 months, we are looking at target prices of at least 1300 to 1350, which is a decent return. And considering the fact that it's a debt-free company, they've got healthy cash on the books, and plus a strong order book, which gives us the comfort that revenue visibility at least for the next 12 to 18 months is assured. More importantly, as the dust settles down and the IT market becomes more and more vibrant, at least in the second half of FY 24-25, I would not be surprised that Tata Technologies could be a good, strong outperformer, and especially for investors who want to buy this stock and keep it in the medium to long term. So, good value can come in, provided you got a slightly longer term time frame in your in your investment perspective.
Okay, we'll request the PCR to draw a long-term chart of Tata Technologies. Of course, this has been one of the marquee listings of 2023. It got listed in late December and has been from that point of onwards in a corrective phase. We saw 1400 on the stock on the first day, and from then on it's been a one-way profit booking. It's settled somewhere like 1,000 rupees, from which Avinash looks at it with a positive view. Avinash, finally, mid caps and small caps have started to click, at least the PSU basket. We saw fairly sharp moves coming into Petronet LNG, into BHEL, into Energy Engineers India yesterday. Any pick in the railway space, the defense space, or the broader PSU network that catches your fancy at current levels?
So I think within the railway pack, I think Shell, we look at companies, in the wagon manufacturing business, and we like Texmaco Rail. Texmaco, I would believe, is sitting on an order book of almost 3,000 odd crores, has a very good positioning in the wagon market. And I think wagon companies are in heavy demand because, at least for the next 2 years, the government has ordered a huge amount of wagons, and that is definitely going to keep all these companies busy. Texmaco definitely looks interesting because if you look at Jupiter Wagons, their peers, or maybe Titagar, both these companies are obviously also trading at their at the 52-week, near to the 52-week highs. So I think clearly, if you look at the positioning of Texmaco Rail, this looks pretty solid in this kind of scenario because after the new government comes in, I'm pretty sure that the railway sector would get a massive increase in the budget, and the government is very keen that over the next 5 years, railways want a larger share of the overall freight opportunity. So I think every effort is going to be made to improve the infrastructure, and wagon is the basic requirement. So I think Texmaco Rail, one could definitely look at accumulating at the current level. We have a fair value of around 220 to 225.
Okay, so that's as far as the railway space and the view on that one is concerned. Avinash, could you also share your views as far as the PSU space is concerned for the power related names? A lot of them were buzzing even yesterday. They've had a stupendous run. Now, be it the traditional power producers like NTPC, Coal India, Power Grid, the power financiers, so to speak, or the renewable energy space, everything has had its fair share of move. In FY25, do you see, this gathering more steam?
No, I think you mentioned about renewable energy. I would believe that companies like Ireda look pretty interesting. Although the stock has corrected from its recent high after the public issue, but I think clearly NTPC, in terms of power generation, is one company where I think growth is going to be quite strong, at least for the next 12 to 18 months. So I think clearly, even power distribution companies, like REC or typically Power Finance Corporation, basically the financing companies which finance power sector projects are definitely in for a very long kind of runway. So I think clearly power as a theme is going to grow significantly, and I think even the private sector players, like Tata Power, or for that reason KEC International, which is into transmission tower business, should do well. I think because all of them are sitting on very large order books. And I think visibility being assured, it's all a question of execution. So I think both the PSU and the private sector players in this space look interesting. But yes, I think you've got to take a slightly longer term view because, power business is slightly longer term in nature, and therefore one can't take a quarterly or a 6-monthly view here. So 12 to 15 months is something which I think investors can definitely play on this thing.
Okay. Time to welcome our other guest also on the show. Rajesh Palvia, Head of Technical and Derivatives Research from Axis Securities, joins in. Rajesh, very good morning to you. Good to have you with us on the last day of the fiscal year 2024. You've given us some fantastic calls all through this year, and all the support that you've given and shared with all our viewers. Many thanks for that. What are the 2 stock ideas that you would give on the last day?
today, I think market is looking very interesting as we are now again back above 22,100. So I think this upward momentum can continue further, and possibly we can be able to give breakout about 22,200. That's the major supply zone. At this moment, we like Indian Hotel. That stock is looking promising on the near term as well as on the short term perspective. Overall structure is bullish. Stock started, recovering after this, corrective move. Looking at the daily as well as weekly time frame, we believe that the stock is now managed to give breakout of its last 4 5 week consolidation range. And looking at overall structure, we believe that again stock can continue to further move to its all-time high trajectory. We are projecting target for Indian Hotel towards 610 to 620. So one can buy this stock with stop loss of 570. And the second stock that we like at this moment is Cummins India. Overall structure is bullish, and looking at the throughout this series, stock has outperformed. So looking at overall structure, we believe that Cummins India can continue furthermore upside. 3,040, 3,060 could be the possible target. One can look to buy this stock with stop loss of 2930.
Okay, so Indian Hotels and Cummins India, two stock ideas
Good
that
morning,
Rajesh
Rajesh
is betting big on right now. The other part, Rajesh, that I wanted to discuss with you, of course, we've seen that the broader market space has started to perform again after the bit of consolidation, the mid and the small cap basket. Anything from this space that you would like to highlight? Any particular stocks?
Yeah, lot many mid cap, small cap stocks again, started performing. I think Gujarat Pipavav Port, GPPL is looking promising. The way stock has managed to give breakout in last couple of trading session, that clearly shows that we can see a further higher level for GPPL. And possible target on the high side we could see towards 245 to 260. One can buy and accumulate this stock with stop loss of 205. Another stock that we like from mid cap space, that is on the banking space, and that is Union Bank. Though there was muted kind of behavior since last couple of trading session, but overall if we analyze the structure, Union Bank is looking promising, and we believe that once stock crosses above 154, 155, then we could see a good amount of rally in the stock, and 170, 180 could be the short-term target for Union Bank. So one can buy this stock also with stop loss of 145.
Okay. Good morning to you, Rajesh. We are just waiting for opening action to start on what is the weekly expiry, the last day of March, the last day of the quarter, as also the last day of the financial year. The Nifty started in fantastic shape, 71 points higher, 22,200. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very critical session for the Nifty in particular. Remember, 22,200 has been the most critical resistance over the last 2 weeks that has hindered Nifty's uptick. Let's look at stocks that are contributing towards this rally. I'd just like to see what HDFC Bank is doing. 0.75% higher, 1445, 5 rupees uptick. Infosys 6.5 rupees higher, 1491. Remember, Infosys is the laggard amongst the top index heavyweights, and this is showing a nice uptick today. Let's get to Reliance. Absolutely flat, 3 rupees down, 29.83. Nothing to be worried about. Yesterday the counter had risen 4% higher. Let's go to the F&O space immediately and look at stocks which are buzzing in terms of prices. In terms of top gainers, you have Piramal Enterprises 3% higher, 4% higher, 872.45. BHEL 2.8% higher, 250. Steel Authority about 1.9% higher, 136.15. Biocon 262, 2.5% higher. We'll shift immediately to NSE 500 and take a look at stocks that are outperforming on the long side. The Bank Nifty now about 140 points higher, the IT index almost 140 points higher, and the Nifty 500 has opened also in the green. As far as NSE 500 is concerned, amongst the top gainers are Pfizer. How interesting, 7.5% higher, 45.23. we have CESE 4% higher, and from the same group, Philips Carbon Black PCBL 276 4.2% higher. Strong moves coming in on Suzlon Energy, Relaxo Footwear, Chalet Hotels, and JBM Auto. Good morning to you, Rajesh ji. A very warm welcome. What would you do at the beginning of the last day of the expiry of the month and of the financial year?
Good morning, Shelji. So I think the recovery is taking place in most of the PSU stocks. So I think one can look to buy this
Yes.
BHEL. That stock is showing good traction since last couple of trading session, and the way stock is showing strength on a near-term chart, weekly as well as on the daily. We believe that BHEL can continue furthermore upside, and possible target we could see towards 260, 265. So BHEL is looking promising with stop loss of 242. Another space that we like at this moment is defense. That is HAL is looking promising. I think we have seen a significant corrective move, and now again stock is back above 20-day, 50-day moving average. The way stock has recovered in last couple of trading session, we believe that again stock is poised for regaining its all-time high trajectory. So HL can be a stock where one can focus. We are projecting target towards 3360, 3370. Keep your stop loss at 3265 to buy BHEL also. And the third space that we like is from insurance space. I think that space can also contribute to this upward momentum, and I think ICICI Prudential is looking promising from that space. The way stock is holding above 600 level, we expect this stock can continue furthermore upside towards 620 to 625. So ICICI Prudential is buy with stop loss of 592.
Okay, let's get Avinash Gorakshakar into the conversation, and the PCR will fire a long-term chart of VIP Industries. It's a gap up open, and the stock has corrected on its way up after a huge downtrend. Avinash, do you spot something different on VIP Industries? Is something clicking that we are not aware of? Very strong move coming in. How do you see this chart?
I think looking at the business shell, I think VIP is definitely a very strong beneficiary of the hospitality sector. I think there are very few companies in the luggage segment which control the market and which enjoy a very strong brand kind of perception in the market, and VIP is one of them. I think VIP has introduced several new products, not only for the general travel but even for the women categories. They have launched some new products, so I think that is going to add to their revenue and profitability. More importantly, on the raw material side, commodity prices have been ruling soft for a long time. They imported a certain degree of raw material, so I think that has also contributed to their profitability margins. My sense is that this year again, that is FY25, should be a strong year in terms of hospitality and basically aviation kind of growth, because as many people travelers travel by air, this is one of the most important and the basic requirements of travel. So I think I would not be surprised that even at the current odd levels, one is looking at a near-term, kind of investment opportunity. Earnings growth at least this year should be in the region of 18 to 20 odd percent. So I think more commentary could be available once the Q4 numbers are available, and which should be out very soon. But I'm quite optimistic that the luggage sector is going to see a lot of growth, especially considering the fact that it's a B2C segment where it's an easy proposition to pass through any material cost, and where the brand gets a significant amount of premium from the customers.
Okay, Rajeshji, would you have a view on VIP Industries? Now 8% higher, very strong volumes coming in, about 53 crores.
So after a decent corrective move, again stock has shown some buying action from the lower level. Stock consolidated for last 4-5 trading session, and a very strong buying action in today's session after this opening. Looking at the immediate supply zone, which is placed at around 525. So I think those who have already bought at lower level can hold the position. Another 4-5% kind of up move we can expect in this stock, as this is the first round of buying after a big corrective move. So one can hold on the position with stop loss of 485. On the higher side, 525 is the first level where stock may face some supply pressure because it's coincide with its 50-day moving average. So that level needs to watch in this pullback action.
Okay, let's look at IDFC First Bank. The stock is down about 3 odd percent. A large block deal for 19 crore shares has probably taken place at around 1329, about 1329 odd crore rupees worth of block deal has really taken place, is what we do know as of now. Avinash, would you have a view on IDFC First Bank? We've been seeing a slew of block deals really taking place, promoters exiting partially, some of the stake in many companies. About 50,000 odd crore rupees, 55,000 odd crore rupees worth of block deals have taken place over the last month or so. How would you really assess this kind of move, and what does it mean for the retail investors who hold such stocks?
I think my guess is that this is just an event which has got concluded, Sakshi, and I don't think it's going to impact the fundamentals of IDFC First Bank. In fact, the real benefits of the reverse merger, that is IDFC into IDFC First Bank, is yet to get reflected into numbers. And I think as per the management commentary post the Q3 numbers, I think the growth is definitely going to be very strong even for the current year. My sense is that with a CASA of almost 50% and a very strong deposit and advance growth, one can be reassured that the coming 12 to 15 months also should be pretty strong for this bank. This event has concluded. A large institutional investor has now sold his stock. We'll be interested to know, who's the buyer. By evening we'll get these details, which should give more comfort to the stock going forward.
Okay. Rajesh, a slew of stocks that are moving up very, very strongly. GOCL Corporation, one stock which we rarely discuss, is up 11% in trade. This is on the news flow that the company has entered into an agreement with builders to monetize about 265 acres of land in southern India. How would you really look at this stock? Is this a stock that you've tracked?
We don't track this stock actively, but looking at the chart now, stock is still in a downtrend. Though there was some pullback action, but still, if we analyze on the weekly time frame, stock is moving in falling channel. So on the higher side for this pullback, again 440, 450 is the major supply zone for the stock. Until the stock not process above 450 level on a weekly closing basis, there would be, again, it will attract supply pressure around those level as structure is weak. Lower top, lower bottom formation is taking place on a daily chart. So still stock is in bearish track.
Okay. The other one that's moving from the broader markets is Lokesh Machines. Of course, this is another stock that we hardly discuss. It's up 9% odd in trade today. So some of these stocks that are buzzing in action. We won't take a view on every stock that's actually moving like this big, but let's discuss with some of the stocks about which are having some news flow and where there is merit in the move as well. So, stocks like Barmer Lorry, for example, that's the one that's moving up in trade. Of course, there is news flow again for this one. About 2.2% higher is how this stock is really moving at this point in time. And of course, it's going to be setting up a warehousing zone. It's in the SEZ of JNPA with 230 crores investment. Is Barmer Lorry something that you track, Rajesh?
Yeah, this stock we track in this up move. Stock now managed to hold about 20-day moving average. Looking at the recovery from its recent low of around 200 kind of zone, we believe that this momentum can exceed because if we analyze the long-term structure, that is in bullish trajectory. This correction is showing again buying interest at the lower level. Looking at the recovery in last couple of weeks, we believe that this momentum can exceed further towards 265 to 275. Those who have already bought the stock at lower price can trail their stop loss towards 228 to hold for further upside toward 260 to 265.
Okay, the trend across the market is now in favor of bulls. Remember, since it's the monthly expiry today, for the Nifty, we'll be looking at the April 4 series. Rajesh, this question is for you. Let's look at the 22,200 call on the Nifty, which expires on April 4. Given the momentum that we are seeing across the board, what would be your view on this one? 207 already up 20, but the all-time high here is 600. What about a positional trade on the long side intraday?
So definitely, Shalji, we can look to buy this call option of 22,200 as the major call concentration is placed at 22,200 for this expiry, and now we are holding about 22,200. So I think another 30 minutes of trade about 22,200 would attract a short covering in this call writing position, and possibly that would support index to move further higher. So I think this is the right approach to take a 22,200 call option of April 4th weekly expiry. Possible target we could see towards 255 to 265 for trading point of view. If you want to look for positional perspective, yes, you can hold on that call option for next couple of trading sessions also. As if we able to close about 22,200 for monthly expiry, then yes, this really can extend, and possible target on a Nifty we could see towards 22,350. At that time, this call option may give you good profit. Possible target then we can see towards 320 to 340 on the higher side for next couple of trading sessions. So those who wants to take positional back, they can hold on and buy it with the stop loss of 22,120. That's the stop loss on Nifty spot to buy this call option for positional perspective also.
Okay, Rajeshji, what we'll do is we'll limit this one for intraday because we have a 3-day holiday ahead, and in that time, a lot of theta decay will happen. So intraday, we'll keep a look at it on the 22,200 Nifty April 4 call, at the moment at 213. Meanwhile, we'll again look at VIP Industries. That is now tracking at about 507. Remember, we caught it at about 501. Also, Rajeshji, sticking to you, Bajaj Finance, one of the finest rallies over the last 5-7 trading sessions. That's doing fantastically well. Is the counter overheated, or is it trying to recoup its lost glory? Your view on Bajaj Finance, please.
So stock was underperforming for since last couple of months, but again the kind of recovery which we are seeing for this month, almost 10% gain for this month for Bajaj Finance. And looking at the breakout on the near-term chart, we believe that if it continues to hold above 7060 level, then possible target we could see towards 7250, even 7300 kind of zone. In this recovery process, now stock managed to cross about 20-day, 50-day moving average. That is also adding up the strength on the near-term structure. Long built-up is there for series on series basis. So we believe that a rollover action which is placed till now is on the buying side only. Long built-up is there. So we believe that further more traction we could see in the beginning of April series also, and possible target we could see towards 7300 for Bajaj Finance. So those who are already in trade can trail their stop loss towards 7065 to hold the position.
Okay. Among the broader markets, you are seeing a lot of NAV massaging happening. Remember, today will be the last day for calendar for financial year 2024, and a lot of NAV effort will also be coming in. It's fairly visible when you see the advanced decline ratio. About 1,570 stocks are in the green, compared with just 390 which are in the red. The tone, the tenor, and the underlying granularity of the market is extremely bullish. We tracked 19 indices for you. Only 2 of them are in the red. The rally is led today by the banking space. PSU banks are firing. The index itself 1% higher, 68.97 for you. All 12 PSU banks are in the green within the index. The Nifty Financial Services Index, the Nifty Bank, Energy and Metals Index are all in the green. As far as the small cap index is concerned, out of 100 shares, 71 are in the green. Amongst the mid cap 100 shares, 61 are in the green. Sakshi.
Okay. So a whole host of moves coming in on the PSU banks, and Rajesh, you did talk about Union Bank as one of your preferred stocks that you will be looking at. Anything else in the second rung PSU banks that still look positive to you despite all the run up that we've seen take place over the last 6 months, or a whole host of stocks like Indian Overseas Bank is now pulling up in trade, and these are still the stocks that are priced below 60 rupees, 70 rupees, so they do look attractive at the price ticket point of view. But despite the kind of run up, it's going to be difficult for investors to really know how to play this rally from now on. Where exactly would you be pinning your bets?
So I think if I need to find out another PSU bank, so my choice would be Bank of India. Union Bank is first choice, then second is Bank of India. That stock is also consolidating in very narrow price range since last couple of trading sessions. And looking at the overall structure, we believe that a stock is holding about to its long-term chart breakout. We expect that till stock is holding above 120, 118 kind of zone on a monthly as well as on the weekly closing basis, then there is a possibility that stock may exhibit good amount of rally on a positional perspective. Once the stock crosses above 145 zone, then another round of buying interest may attract in the stock, and then possible target we could see towards 168 to 175 kind of zone for Bank of India. So this stock is looking promising, and from the front line, PSU Bank, Canara Bank would be our preferred choice at this moment. That stock is looking very promising, and the way stock has recovered from its recent low, the stock is now penetrating to its 20-day moving average. So we believe that once Canara Bank manages to cross above 585, then this rally can extend towards 640, 650 kind of zone also. So Canara Bank would be our choice on the frontline PSU bank, and one can look to buy this stock and accumulate with stop loss of 545.
Fair enough. So that's as far as the banking space is concerned, particularly the PSU banks. And where should you look at momentum build up? 1.2% higher for State Bank of India. It's also moving up in pace, and of course it's among the top movers on the Nifty. Apart from this, the other space that is garnering all the attention is of course the financial space, and you do have frontline banks like ICICI Bank gathering pace as well. 1.4% higher for this one. In trade. Anything from the large cap pharma banks that you are looking at, Rajesh, and is that a space that you would look at keenly too?
So I think ICICI Bank and IndusInd Bank, these two banks can be looked at for trading perspective as well as for short-term investment perspective. ICICI Bank is almost now trading near to its all-time high trajectory. The way stock has holding the ground at a higher level, that clearly shows that we may see outperformance in ICICI Bank going forward, and possible target we could see towards 1150, 1160 on a positional perspective. So one can buy and accumulate ICICI Bank with stop loss of 1060. And the second stock we like from private sector is IndusInd Bank. That stock is also recovering from its recent corrective move, and stock has already formed a base at around 1450, 1470 kind of zone. And the way stock is recovering, we believe that once stock crosses above 1570, then possible rally can extend towards 1650 also for IndusInd Bank. So one can buy IndusInd Bank also and accumulate with stop loss of 1495.
Got that. So that's as far as the banking space is concerned. We were discussing with Avinash, and he's actually left for the day. But work hard is something that he had mentioned, and the stock has shot up 4.5% Rajesh. We were discussing the pharma majors with him, so stocks like Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, they are on the move, and Wockhardt, which he mentioned that despite the rally, he still believes there is a lot of upside still left. On the technical charts, would you have a view on Wockhardt?
Yeah, definitely our view is bullish, and the way stock has recovered and the stock is showing the strength, we expect this momentum can continue further, and there is a possibility that Wockhardt can show a fresh all-time high trajectory in a short period of time also. We believe that the short-term target for Wockhardt could be around 650 to 660. One can buy and accumulate this stock. Overall structure is bullish. On the weekly chart, stock is moving in upsloping channel. That clearly indicates that sustained buying action is taking place in the stock prices. So on the downside, one can place a stop loss at around 535. On the higher side, 660, 670 could be the possible target on the short term perspective.
Okay, fair enough. So that's the view coming in on the pharma stocks. Well, time to take a very quick break. The markets are gathering momentum. 22,216 currently on the Nifty. The Nifty bank is back above 47,000 mark as well, 0.6% higher. So it's ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Bajaj Finance, SBI, Reliance and Infosys. These are the stocks that are still contributing to some gains on the Nifty. It started off as a positive day of trade, the last trading session for fiscal year. How does it move forward from here? Stay tuned to find out.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Welcome back to Market Today. We've seen the first 20-25 minutes of trade on the market today. The Nifty is in fine shape. Now the gains are in triple digits. So you have the first century coming in, 22,228 for the Nifty. You have a 300-point gain on the Nifty bank, 47,100 for you. And the broader markets, including the NSE 500, are in fine shape, up about 0.5%, 94 points. 20,181. What's doing really well? Well, it's the two stocks, one stock that we had marked, which is VIP Industries, now days high, somewhere like 509.95. About huge amount of volume has already happened in VIP Industries. We caught this fairly early at about 501, 502. The counters now up 9.5%, about 28,64,000 shares have been traded. What's also doing pretty well is the option trade that we had caught, which was the 22,200 Nifty call expiring on April 4th. The price for that will be coming right there in front of you. We had caught that at somewhere like 210, 211. It's seen a high of about 220. We'll keep this in mind as far as the intraday trade is concerned. The broader tenor and the underlying granularity of the market is pretty good. Avinash with us, Rajesh Palvia is with us. Rajesh ji, your view on Tata Power. This is trying to regain the earlier momentum that we had seen. Now about 398, highest in at least 2.5 weeks. What are the charts on Tata Power telling you for April?
So the way stock is recovering and now approaching to again 400 level, I think it's a breakout on a daily chart, and looking at this breakout, we believe that if it stock crosses above 400, then possible target in a short term perspective we could see towards again 425 to 430 kind of zone for Tata Power. So this theme is continuously showing good traction. Whatever dips we have seen in most of the power stocks have attracted the buying interest, and I think most of the power stocks are now again back on on the buying side. So Tata Power is again one can buy even at the current market price also, with stop loss of 392, upside target 425 to 430.
Okay. The other stock that needs to be marked is Century Textiles. I think we have a record high here, Rajesh ji. This is a breakout. The last time we had seen this price, it was 10th of January, and it seems to be doing pretty well, 1609. Rajesh ji, this is a real estate play, which is better known as a textile company. Your views on Century Textiles?
So just a disclaimer, I have initiated this buying idea a few minutes back to our clients, and we have projected target towards 1650, 1700 for Century Textile. The way stock managed to view breakout of its contracting triangle on a weekly chart, that clearly shows that we could see this rally can extend, and possible target 1650 to 1700 for Century Textile. One can buy. There's already stock is moved up sharply in last couple of minutes. So if you get any opportunity to buy around 1590, 1585, that's the again good level to re-enter in the stock. Keep your stop loss at around 1540. Possible target 1650 we can see in Century Textile.
Okay. Rajesh ji, what about REC? That's also picking up momentum. Of course, yesterday was again after a long haul, we'd seen the momentum gather pace, and again today it's up by about 2%. What's really looking good here on the charts on REC?
Yeah, so definitely again REC is also showing buying interest from its recent low. Though still stock is struggling to cross its immediate supply zone of 460. That's the immediate level one needs to watch on a near-term perspective. If a stock crosses above 460 level, then yes, this stock may also exhibit a good amount of rally and possible target. Then we can see towards 485, 490 also. Again, if we analyze the PFC, the same kind of behavior. Again, stock is considering narrow range. Stock needs to cross 398 400 zone. Once this breakout happens, then possible target for PFC we could see towards 415 to 425. So overall structure for REC PFC on the longer term time frame is on the bullish side. Yes, some near term corrective move was happened, but we believe that once this broader market start recovering, once Nifty manages to hold about 22,200, then again buying interest will come back to these stocks also, and then possible really we can see in PFC and REC. So buy and accumulate should be your strategy at this moment till the breakout is not happening. I think these two stocks again may give you good return in short term basis also.
Okay, so that's as far as REC is concerned. From the PSU basket, it's LIC that's gathering pace. It's now back above its issue price of 915 odd. And after some time of consolidation, we did see the prices of even 950 and all-time high levels crossing 1000 as well. It did come back and now it's gathering pace again. Days high, 2.5% up move on LIC. Would you track this momentum?
Yeah, definitely. We discussed in the beginning of show also that insurance space is looking promising, and the way LIC is now recovering, we expect that till stock is holding above 880 level, I think there is a possibility that the stock can rally from current level, and possible target we could see towards 960 to 970 for LIC. So stock overall looking bullish, and one can buy and accumulate this stock. For trading point of view, 880 should be your stop loss.
Okay, let's again look at the 22,200 call on the Nifty. Remember, the index is now at its day's high. At the moment, it is facing resistance at 22,264 in the cash markets. This is the second resistance that's come in. The first half an hour of trade has been very positive for the Nifty. You've seen a low of 22,160, and from then on, the index has appreciated 100 points. The call itself is yes, 231. Remember, we had caught this at about 214. So somewhere like 18, 19 rupees is what is being made on this one. Rajesh, do you want to take another view on this particular call now at day's high 231?
So I think one should hold on this call option, and now the trailing stop loss for Nifty should be at 22,200 on Nifty spot. As we are seeing that after the opening, 22,200 is very well holded by the market, and the way index is holding this level, I think call writers would cover their position. Still, if we look at the data, still I think still call writers are there for 2200. So I think on expiry day, this really can extend because 2200 is very important level and we are holding it. So I think this call option can continue for further more upside. Those who have already bought can trail now. Stop loss for specifically for this call option at around 210, which is almost the cost. And possible target we could see towards 280, 290 also, because the way Nifty is holding the ground, I think this really can extend, and possible level for Nifty spot we could see towards 22,300, 22,320 in this continuation of up move.
Okay. What we'll also do is look at the contribution of the Nifty by individual stocks. The index, as we all know, is 135 points higher. Out of these, ICICI Bank is contributing 28 points. Infosys, back in the green, remember, is contributing about 17 points. Bajaj Finance, which we've already discussed, is up 2.5%. This is contributing 11 points. HDFC Bank and SBI. So it's a banking day, and fairly strong moves coming in. Both HDFC Bank and SBI contributing almost 10 points each. We've discussed 4 major stocks after the markets open. The option trade that's right there in front of you. VIP Industries. We've also discussed Century Textiles. It's shot up very sharply. 1625 for you, a fresh record high. And of course, we've discussed Bajaj Finance. So these are the 4 trades that are doing excellently well thanks to the market. Rajesh ji, any view on HDFC Bank?
So that's the interesting part in the banking basket. A lot of discussion in the last couple of months, but still stock is struggling to cross its major supply zone of 1470, 1480. I think till the time stock not crosses this level, it may remain in the range only. Though it's a good quality stock, but price is not supporting to that sentiment of quality stock. Once we get to breakout above 1480, yes, there would be again a rally could be there, and then for 1540, 1560 could be the target. But I think those who wants to buy and add this stock for long-term perspective, they can buy and accumulate and hold the stock. I think sooner or later that breakout is going to happen, as the long-term trajectory for HDFC Bank is looking bullish, and we believe that this stock will reward you if you hold this stock patiently for long-term perspective.
Okay, just a moment. We'll again go back to the Nifty 22,200 call April 4. It shot up to 251, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the trap of momentum that we do very well on Business Today. We'll close the trade here for 2 obvious reasons. One, we are headed into a 3-day holiday, which results in a lot of theta decay, and we've already caught the difference between 210 and about 251, which is more than enough. And Rajesh ji, thank you so much for this wonderful stock price and target setting on this particular call. Fantastic. Thank you so much for this one. Yours, Sakshi.
Right, Rajesh ji, also wanted to discuss with you a few more stocks that are moving very sharply. So let's mention for all our viewers the top movers towards the end of this show. So Pfizer is up by 6%. We also have stocks like Chalet Hotels that's up to 8.3%. Relaxo Footwear has moved up 6.4% higher in trade. You have Dilip Buildcon that's up 6%. You also have a lot of stocks at 52-week high. Force Motors is back up 2.2% higher at 7335 at 52-week high level. You have Indus Towers that's up 2% odd as well. Century Textiles that's up 8.4%. Then you also have D-Mart, Kalyan Jewelers. These are the stocks that are also moving up very smartly. On D-Mart, would you have a view? Rajesh ji, there have been constant brokerage calls coming in on and increasing targets on this one.
Yeah, very strong breakout on demand, and after a long consolidation, the way stock has given the breakout, that clearly shows that long-term trajectory is now changing for the stock. And looking at the weekly, monthly structure, we believe that till now stock is holding above 4,400 level. There is a high possibility that stock can show further more momentum towards 4,650, 4,700 kind of zone. So I think that stock one can buy and accumulate at this moment. Very strong buying action in last couple of trading session, and the way stock is breaking out of long consolidation, we believe that this momentum can extend further towards 4,650, 4,700 also. Sakshi, I just wanted to highlight some of the stocks which are looking good on the derivative side, as today
Yes.
is expiry day. So a lot of rollover action can give some momentum in the stock. So first stock is Sun Pharma. That stock
Okay.
one can keep on their buying radar. Stop loss is 1610. Upside target we could see towards 1655, 1660. Power grid is looking promising. The way rollover action is taking place for this stock, we believe that 285, 290 could be the possible target for power grid. So one can look to buy this stock with stop loss of 271. And the third stock that we like at this moment is Metropolis. That stock is also looking promising, and we believe that towards the expiry, here also we could see a good amount of rally towards 1800, 1820 kind of zone. So Metropolis is also buy with stop loss of 1725.
Perfect. So three stocks where rollover action is increasing, and this is a stock. These are the stocks that you need to focus on in terms of expiry: Sun Pharma, Power Grid, and Metropolis Healthcare. The Nifty has gathered even more pace, so it's above 22,300 mark, 180 points higher in trade. It's ICICI Bank that's contributing 27 points. HDFC Bank is contributing 20 points here on the Nifty. You also have Infosys that's contributing 16 points, Reliance that's contributing about 14 points, and Bajaj Finance that's contributing about 12.5 points to the Nifty rally right now. Rajesh ji, last word from you as we head to the new series for April. What would your advice be on the Nifty Bank strategy for investors?
So on the last day of financial year, the way Nifty is breaking out about 22,200, and the way the short covering is taking place, I think this really can extend, and I think we could see another new all-time high in April series itself, as the already corrective move, significant corrective move, which was waiting by the market since long time, that has already happened in month of March itself. So I think this is the healthy sign for bullish market. Significant corrective move again. The quality stocks are starting showing good buying interest. The valuations again back to the fair valuation. So I think that is also giving the comfort to the most of the investor at this moment. So I think we are expecting that new all-time high for April series, possible target 22,500 to 22,600 in the continuation of this up move. Keep trailing your stop loss. Now one can keep the stop loss at Nifty towards 22,100.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Rajesh ji, for being with us on the show and discussing such wonderful insights with all of us. Time to wind up this edition. Anything else, Shail, that you want to add?
Yes, I think we need to focus on the Nifty for two reasons. One, April is beginning, and there is a lot of interesting data as far as April is concerned. I was checking how the Nifty has moved over the last 20 years in this particular month, and it's more to do with positives. So if you look at Nifty in April from the year 2000 to 2024, you've had about 20 years, and from that an average of 2.1% is the monthly gain on the index. And if you look at the probability, out of the 20 years, only 7 have ended in losses as far as the month of April is concerned. So positivities as far as the index is concerned. And we've seen March do pretty much nothing. In fact, it was so volatile for the index. You saw a low of 21,700 and a high of 22,500. So the index itself was moving in a range of about 700, 750 points. That got narrowed down, and today we've taken out 22,200 with a vengeance, and you have a new jockey in the market for the Nifty, that's Reliance Industries. The move that came in yesterday for about 4% has now again moved into the green. The stock Reliance is now above 3,000. So HDFC Bank has been put aside by the market, and the momentum is now taken up by Reliance. The index itself is above 22,300. So the first week of April, maybe the first fortnight of April, should see a fresh high on the index, primarily driven by the fourth quarter earnings. Sakshi.
Right, we'll wind up this edition now. Many thanks, viewers, for being with us on the show, and thank you so much, Rajesh, for sharing all those thoughts with us and all those strategies and ideas. We will continue to track them through the trading session, and here's hoping that fiscal year 2025 be even brighter and bring in even more profits to you, to your families, to your team members and clients as well. May it be a fun, fabulous financial year to begin with. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap it up at that. Many thanks for tuning in on Business Today Television.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.